Okay, so this is our before shot. This is a flowering tree. No idea what kind of tree it is. Over here, we have a bunch of perennials that have been in forever. There's this bush. No idea what it is. It's real cute. Super big. This is where all of the hostas are. They're just like all the same hostas. They're not very big, but they're cute. And here we have a cleared thing. There was a giant tree, weed tree. No, not weed, but you know, a tree that was not supposed to be there. I took it out. And yeah, so we'll move on to the back. Oh no, this is okay. Fourth time's the charm. This is on the way to the backyard. This is a bunch of trash. I don't maintain this side as much as I would like to. It's also April. This is all irises that are just there. They're old. They are irises and weeds. Lots and lots of weeds. Why so many weeds? Back here, you can see a very nice before shot of what this area looked like before everything grew in. Man, it's so weird to look at it like this. As this right here, little area is my old garden. It was real little. This is a garden bed full of perennials, including what do you call it? Bleeding hearts. I'm obsessed with those. And here you have the yard before everything grew in. It's real dead looking. And you can't really see anything, but it'll come. And here we will get into the after. Okay, so we're not going to talk about the hose. That's fine. Leave it alone. I do know what kind of tree this is, but I don't know right now. So I will put it in when I remember. That's what it looks like now in the time that it is now. I got myself a little bird bath. Okay. I planted some gooseberries here. So I've got 6 gooseberry plants here. And this is what the stuff filled in like. Look at that. Isn't that exciting? I got hostas, and this fern apparently has been here as long as John has. And I put some caladium in, but they were very much dying. So they don't look like anything. They're just bare holes there now. This here is spiderwort. It blooms in the morning, I guess. I don't know what those are. I'll figure it out. This is where that tree is that I took out. Well, the tree was. And then I have not done, I don't think I will do anything on this side. Yeah. And my petunias, real cute. These are a purple petunia, but it's so purple that it's nearly black, and it's like my favorite. I have these little things, but I think I planted them too late, so they're not really growing anything. I've got a planter that look at that, I grew those from seed. I did that. Ooh. And then that is a sunflower that was dying, and I bought it. I don't know what this is. I think it's foxglove, but I have no idea. So funny story about this little cutout that I did here. Listen, this is the yard. I hate this yard because I don't like lawns. So I cut this little corner out and put some flowers and stuff, including mustard greens and collard greens, right? Well, my neighbor tells me that the person that owned the house before my best friend spent years trying to get grass to grow in that little corner. Like, why would you fight a bare piece? Why not just put flowers in it? I don't know. Those are 2 sunflowers. There was 8 sunflowers here, but they're gone now. This is the fig tree that I planted way earlier this year, and it is not doing as well as I wish it was, but that is only because I left it inside the greenhouse too long. Here we have my elephant ears. It's looking pretty alright. And I swear those impatiens look way better earlier. I don't know what happened. I think I need to take all the old dead flowers off. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to preface this by an apology of how much and how quickly I have to talk in this, because this is the after and it is my tour. So this is all of my weeds and the bricks that I have not finished putting back together because it was a lot more work than I expected it to be. This is my garden. Look at that. I did that. Wow. Okay. So this is that bed that I cleaned out. The stuff in here that I know comes back every year is the hostas and the bleeding hearts. The swamp rose mallow right here that's real tall, that stuff comes back as long as I don't break it, but it falls over and breaks itself a lot when it rains, so I can't help that. These are my crooked stairs. Tall sunflowers. I have some lavender and roses and some stinging nettles. This is the top view of my garden. Look at that. I did that. Ah! It's such a mess. This is some gooseberries that I grew from seed. I need to get them in the ground. I'm just kind of letting them hang out back there now. Strawberries that I grew from seed. Strawberries take a long time to give you fruit, I think 1 or 2 years, so we're gonna see, or I guess I'm gonna learn now because I started stuff from seed. This is a basket that I got from Lowe's and it's doing freaking amazing. Like, look at that. I'm growing berries in my yard on my deck. And strawberries get runners, and then that runner will give you a whole other plant. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm propagating. Here is a top view of my sunflowers. They're literally taller than me. How did I do that? I grew something taller than me? That's gross. I just caught Finn eating an old peach. That's the explanation of the end of that last recording. Anyway, here you have my red raspberry bushes. I'm sorry, give me a second. Oh man, okay. Anyways, these are my red raspberries. I don't know why some of them do this. Not all of them are like this. They're fine. They taste normal, but some of them are not turning all the way red. Here is my loofah sponge. I got this from a lady on Instagram. It was really funny. I must have started 6 seeds and I killed all of them except for 3. And this is the one in the backyard. Here we have some popcorn given to me by Noah's mama, and I'm really, really excited. I think it's that like pretty shit, but I don't know. And here we have some pumpkins. I'm trying to trellis it, but we'll see how that works out. I don't know. This is how many raspberry bushes, canes I have. Look at that. That's all raspberries. Yeah, they're really fun, but I will say they seem to attract a lot of mosquitoes. My guess is because with raspberry and or any fruit, you want to water a lot and consistently, because that's what helps grow the fruit is water, obviously. Look how big that bitch is. Ugh. Love it. There's a little swamp rose mallow down there. Look at this little gherkin. Hi, little sausage. That's my cucumber plants. I have a really bad habit of overcrowding my plants. There's 3 in this pot. Probably should have put 2 at the max. But it's doing okay. It's alright. Here we have my tomatillo plants. The middle one seems to be doing the best for some reason. I don't know why. It also, like, every single time I try tomatillos, I get an issue with these bugs that eat, like, the leaves. So, yeah, this is my first time growing an heirloom tomato. And heirlooms are really cool. Tomatoes are my favorite thing to grow in general, but this heirloom is, like, given some funny flowers. Here's the audio of me finding my first heirloom tomato. Oh. Okay, these are my Romas. Fun thing that I learned from Jess with Roots and Refuge Farm is that when you plant your tomatoes, you want to put an egg in the hole when you plant them. I don't know what it's doing. I accidentally forgot to do it with all of my Romas, but I did it with all the others. So we'll see if there's a big difference. So far there is. Here we have all of my pepper plants. I make a lot of salsa, so I planted a lot of peppers. I started my jalapenos from seed, and they're not doing too hot, but it's alright. These are my serrano peppers. They're doing real nice. I like them. I top all of my peppers. So what that means in gardening vocab is that when it gets to a certain height, I cut the top off, and that promotes side shoots, so it doesn't grow all of your peppers on one skinny tube. Oh, bless you. That sad thing was my Brussels sprout. And these are my squash plants. Look at those. Last year I did not cage them, and they were super overcrowded, so they got real sick real fast. I did get a good amount of them before they got sick, so we'll see how they do with the cages this year. This is a green bell pepper that a rabbit broke, and I was too lazy to take it out, but it's growing. Look. I think I might have messed up by putting my bell peppers next to my super spicy peppers because cross-pollination and stuff, so who knows? We'll see how that turns out. This is the spicy peppers, like a scorpion pepper and super chili and something else. Get away from my plant, bug. What else? Scorpion, super chili. I keep forgetting. I don't know. They're marked. Ghost pepper. That's what something else. This is my eggplant. I don't know what's eating it. Maybe this little guy? I don't know. That guy was real cute. He was fuzzy. That's my first time growing eggplant. I've only had eggplant like twice in my life, but I really like it. These here are my cotton plants. I brought those seeds from my aunt's garden in Mexico. I literally picked some cotton balls from the plant, and it had seeds in it. I didn't know that. I figured that out later. Those spinach plants were eaten by rabbits when they were real small, and now they're growing funny. I don't know. And then my onions. This is my first time doing onions and carrots. Look at those little cuties. Oh, they're so cute. I can't take it. Look at. Oh, okay. Here's the spinach. I spoke too soon. This is the spinach now. I think this is broccoli that has been absolutely destroyed. These rabbits won't, like, let it grow and then eat it. Like, what are you doing? I grew a lot of collard greens this year because that's cabbage, but I grew a lot of collard greens because I wanted to feed my lizard for free. More. Sorry. And these are more Brussels sprouts. I grow Brussels sprouts every year and it never works. So fingers crossed that one of these like 5 or 7 plants gives me Brussels sprouts.
But that is my garden for this week.